Moment Collective. You are right on time whenever you're watching this. This reading is timeless, tapping into our spirit guides, our angels, the universe. Please show us what you have for us in this very moment. My Etsy shop is in the description. If you would like your own private tarot reading, that is where you can find me. And let's get into today's message. Okay, so right away when I was pulling your cards, I got to chill because people are seeing the other side to this earth angel energy. First card out, we have the angel. Second card out, we have the exorcist. So collective, you play both positions. You play the angel that comes in the time of discontent, the time of uncomfortability. When things are hitting the fan, you come in collective. But also when it's time to put someone in their place, okay? When it's time to exorcise that demon about a people, you come through as the exorcist. So this is giving I got time today energy. And it's really not like, oh, someone's trying me, I got time today, let me put them in their place. But I do see collective that you are being used to exorcise these demons out of people's spirit. I'm picking up on someone who really feels big and bad, and you're the person that they would least expect, collective. And for some of you, it's literally just because you're quiet. A lot of times people can mistake someone who's quiet as someone who is not a threat. And really, a lot of times people are quiet because they're unbothered. They genuinely, I mean, not everyone loves drama. Not everyone feels the need to correct people when they say things out of pocket. A lot of times it's like, if it's not directed to me, I don't need to, step in. I don't have an issue. You can do what you want to do, believe what you want to believe. But then there's times where they got to see that other side. The angel, it says, helping those in needs with no expectation of return. Another thing, something that sowed the seed of you being like angelic was a time you did something nice for someone. You could have comforted someone, been there for someone, and now they see you as a comforter. So they're kind of creating issues, and they think, oh, because I got this comforter, I'm going to be able to come to them, with my problems, and they're going to solve it. And it's like, no, that was a one-time thing. And true generosity is not something that is taken and manipulated out of you. It is what is given. So someone is seeing your natural generosity and they're thinking, oh, this is a generous being, so that means I can take. But it's not generosity. It's manipulation if it is taken. Generosity is what's given. That's what makes it so special when you see someone who's genuinely a generous person, and they're giving. It's like, wow, that's amazing. They're just giving with no expectation. They're not expecting anything back. They're just generous like that. Wow, that's what makes it special. Your ability to manipulate someone is no longer generosity. So that's another thing. You may have done one nice thing for someone, or been there for someone once, or, whatever, played an angelic role, impacted someone positively in some way, and they now associate you with that, but this person is getting a rude awakening. The exorcist, it says, freeing yourself and others from destructive impulses. You are revealing to someone that they have a destructive impulse, and it can maybe be misusing their resources. So say you're a generous person who is willing to be there for someone. If they're constantly drying you of all the life force you have, eventually that pot is going to dry up. And when they really need it and hits the fan, and it's something outside of their control, and you're already empty, in that time of actual need, not when they've created problems and they're trying to suck you dry of your generosity and kindness, but when they actually need something, you're empty at that point. And this person is having such a rude awakening that, they're not as nice or whatever as they thought. And also, you're not what they thought. We have the healer and the pioneer. So I'm also seeing you shift into a different position. It seems like you were in more of an angelic healer kind of energy, and now you're shifting into this exorcist pioneer energy where healing automatically includes other people. You're focused on other people because you're healing them from experiences that they've had or something that has happened. But when you're a pioneer, you're the leader. So you're not looking at other people. You are the person who's in the lead. So you're naturally actually not there for other people. And I am seeing people, honestly, they're not feeling that. They're very uncomfortable with that. And they're seeing you as this angel, as this heavenly, ethereal kind of force in presence, but they're getting bit. They're getting bit, and they're seeing your dark side, your shadowy side, and your ability to stand up for yourself. And they're seeing just the other side of you, and they're so shook by it. The healer, it says passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, spirit, and the ability to transform pain into healing. So this can be in so many ways, especially since it says the body, mind, and spirit. You could be a personal trainer, literally transforming lives, and you don't even see it that way, but it's like, no, so much of how people see themselves and even what they have the ability to manifest in this life is related to their image, their body image, their aura, who they are, their position. So when you're alchemizing people, you're literally unlocking abundance for them. It could be the simplest way. It could be you sharing a recipe. It could be you sharing a group that you're in. It could be you sharing a book, some information. That thing that you could see as small actually has the hugest impacts on people. And now you're moving into a different direction with the pioneer. It says passion for doing and creating what has not been done before. So you're not looking to other people for guidance. You're not looking for other people to heal and be there for. You got to be there for yourself. You're in the leader position, and it's like, it's looking like kids the way it's reading to me. Like you have these kids, these younger souls, spirits that are attaching to you, and they're like pulling on your clothes, trying to get your attention. Like, well, what about my healing? Or I got a scraped knee, or so-and-so said this, they did that. Aren't you going to go to bat for me? And it's like, no, I'm not going to bat for you. Now, what really surprised me is this Mars energy, because I was like, oh, Collective's got grit. Collective is about that action right now. Mars is nothing to play with. It's the planet of war. Mars, it says desire, impulse, courage, heat, strength, competition, workouts. I'm also seeing someone like getting into weightlifting or bodybuilding as well. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe you'll end up getting in a, like entering a competition or having some success in that, but that's something else I was seeing. It says excitement, thirst, leadership, anger, potency, willpower, physical drive. So you could be very, excited at this time, if you know what I mean. That sacral chakra, maybe sacral chakring, and you're kind of looking for your next listen. You're gonna get what you need. Don't you worry. I feel like this, new energy you're coming into, maybe there's some divine biznae for you, okay? Or some divine kitty that you're gonna unlock. So I'm very excited to see that for you as well, Collective. But you're in this Mars energy. We also got Gemini, which a lot of times is associated with, of course, the twins. So, people can say that Gemini can be two-faced. One thing about me, I will never in my life argue with a Gemini. You will not win, first of all. It's ironic because my bestie is a Gemini. I would never try that lady in my life. Maybe it's because I'm a Cancer, but I understand, there's always someone with a more, firepower than you. And one thing about me, I'm gonna move in a new direction like the crab before I try to go head to head with the Gemini. I'm not fighting nobody with strong Gemini energy. Think Kanye, think Kendrick. Are you trying to get your wig snatched like Drake did? Okay, then let's not fool around with the Geminis. Unless you got something in your chart anyways. We got Gemini here. Very versatile, very individualistic, doing your own thing, very powerful. The card, it says curious, communicative, flexible, versatile. And that's Gemini's superpower, that they're so versatile. It's not two-faced. They're willing to play whatever position is most advantageous for the situation. And that disconnection from the ego that says, this is who I am, this is the role I play, and that surrender to that flexibility is what becomes their superpower and their advantage over other people. So you're showing up in this way where you're very flexible and versatile in your power for sure. People are very attracted to that, and people are getting a rude awakening. I'm seeing people also being scared of you, very intimidated by you. And your energy is very strong and powerful at this time, and it has people kind of freaking out. It also says street smart, mobile, studious, restless, fidgety. So it's like you're at work, you're hard at work. We got the Hangman, the Devil, and the Nine of Cups all showing up reversed here. So the Hangman reverse is this unshakable courage and energy to keep going. Devil reversed, no fear. Nine of Cups reversed. That's that disconnection from the ego. You know, Nine of Cups is a very personally fulfilled and comfortable position. Nine of Cups reverse is like everything's in the air or things are shaky at this time. But surprisingly, you're at your strongest. So you could be one of those people who work really well under pressure. You could be one of those people who actually get more done in a time crunch versus when you have all the time in the world. So you could be someone who gets really activated when things get hectic and chaotic. That may be when you lock in. So you could be the coworker that's never in the weeds. It's like, even if things are behind, you're still not freaking out. And that may frustrate like your coworkers and managers because they want to see you freaking out, because in some way that means in their head that you'll try harder. But usually that's when mistakes come in and your work gets, lowered in quality. So it's not at all necessarily a good thing, but I see people so shook by you, really more shook that you're not one-sided. You're not just the angel, but you got the devil and the angel within you, the light and the darkness, the higher self and the shadow self, and they have to work in tandem. Even in the spiritual community, the shadow self is so demonized, but that shadow self got you through your last dark night of the soul. But we don't talk about that, right? We don't talk about how your shadow self actually fought back against whatever was trying to oppress you, whether it was a person or a situation. We don't talk about the shadow side and how the shadow side got to show teeth and be the bad guy. We only want to talk about the higher self, right? Okay, well, the shadow self has a lot of power, and you have surrendered to that power. And I'm really just seeing people shook. Spirit, what's to come? Anything they need to worry about? What can you tell us? People are seeing your dark side, and I feel like people are afraid and kind of backing away slowly. I feel like this is a truth bomb moment, and that's kind of how this is manifesting. Five of Pentacles. I actually like that for you, because that means people are being less dependent on you, and they're not trying to vamp off of you. So that'll be really good, actually. With the Strength card here. Nice. So as people are, and it makes sense because you're coming into power naturally. That's gonna, cause other people to lose power, because when you've been an angel, a light in their life, when you've been a healer, helping people, healing people, alchemizing people, and then that energy is all channeled toward yourself, naturally people will see you as quite selfish. So be aware that those narratives might come out. People are left out in the cold. This is going to bring out desperation. Like, imagine the energy you'd be in and what you'd be willing to do. Say you were like months behind on rent. You got 10 days to make up the back rent. Otherwise, you're going to get kicked out. Now, what things are you considering doing at that point? Probably different than the things that you would do just from day to day. On a lower level, it's like, well, maybe I let me sign up for DoorDash. Let me hurry up and get the delivery in these orders. Like, let me do this and that. That's on a lower end. On a higher end, some people may be willing to rob, steal, give themselves up, in whatever way for that bread, and that's on a higher end. So that's the energy that they're in currently. They've lost access to the supply. So just know that this could mean that you start to see some shadowy aspects of people. I love this. We got many masks. It says the authentic self. So you're reaching deeper levels of authenticity, and I'm actually seeing that you're liking the fact that people are seeing these other sides to you, because it got kind of tiring for people to always see you as a healer, as an angel, as someone who's going to help, and be there for them. So it's nice that you're able to be and reach deeper levels of authenticity, because people aren't trying to force you into a box of, healer. And a lot of times people can kind of use these positive things in your, like, disbenefit. People can say, oh my gosh, you're such an angel, to train you to be more angelic and what they want you to be. So also be aware of that. We have Winter's Dream with gestation period. So there's something that's manifesting, something big. You're in the gestation period where you haven't fully birthed your new creation or your new path. And then we have the Heart Home with compassion. So Spirit is saying at the end of the day, you do have deeper levels of empathy than a lot of people. deeper levels of love. You are a safe space to lost souls. You're a sanctuary to lost souls. I've done a read about that before. And that is a part of you, but it's only a part of you. It's not everything. It's not who you are as a whole and always. It's just one part of you. So Spirit is saying, allow your compassionate nature to remain unscathed by being dissociated to a degree from the narrative at this time, because naturally people are going to be fighting back and trying to say things to, piss you off, basically just to return back to the same dynamic. But things are changing whether they like it or not. It's not your job to, comfort people in this Five of Pentacles time, but it's your job to step into that pioneer position. Spirit is leading you to a higher evolution, to the next level in your journey, to the next steps. And you don't want to miss that listening to all the chatter of the disgruntled people. You're allowed to be empathetic, but definitely protect yourself at this time as well. That's what I have for us today, collective. My Etsy shop is in the description. If you would like your own private tarot reading, that is where you can find you, girl. And that's what I have for us today. I'll talk to you soon.